just for a moment. Give me a description.
Well, the initial piece of work is computer derived. I fed into the major part here is a Minotaur that's in charcoal and chalk that I scanned into the computer, and the rest of it are found pieces. I mean, there's a little bit of Caspar David Friedrich in the background here. Very topical as there's a German romance show opening this week. It's faintly topical. And I describe these pieces as vulgar, flashy, and faintly topical. That's kind of the genre they fall into. And then I hand-coloured them afterwards. This particular one, anyway.
How much work goes into something like this?
Well, quite a lot. Brian asked everybody to contribute stuff about 2 weeks ago. So we've been working sort of non-stop. I mean, I've got sort of 14 prints over there.
David, this is 2 weeks of work?
Plus 14? All that lot.
This is 2 weeks of work?
Yeah, I mean, my wife's been sort of... Are you coming to bed? Just a few more minutes, I'm nearly finished. I've been doing sort of one a day, you know, and sort of it's been a terrifying schedule to keep up with. I'm absolutely so tired. But it's been worth it.
What do you think pleasure somebody derives out of looking at something like that?
I don't know about anybody else, but for me it's just the actual act of doing it. I've always enjoyed painting. I was trained as a painter. And about 50% of the people here sort of started off as artists in the plastic arts, and like most British rock people, they come from art school backgrounds or some kind of art training. So I think it was just an alternative career, really. But I've always kept them parallel. I've never stopped painting or drawing whilst I've been writing. I find the two integrate very well. In fact, I find they help each other. I find them, in fact, if I'm blocked on one thing, then if I go back to drawing the subject that I'm writing about, it often opens up other avenues for the piece of music that I'm working on.
Why Minotaur? What does that mean? Is there a meaning? I'm not being too deep.
Well, for me, the Minotaur at this particular moment, he represents a brute ignorance that we all have, and also, of course, at that particular time, he was the receiver of 7 youths and 7 maidens, 14 children. And the idea of that possibly we're feeding our children to brute ignorance is maybe one. I mean, a personal reading of it, you could get quite complex, I suppose. Not that any of it stands up for close inspection, but for me, the Minotaur is a fairly good summary of our position at the moment.
But you also follow the theme over here too. Can we walk over here and just sort of look at? Okay, could we not hammer for a half a second just so we can hear David? Is that okay?
That's my friend Kate up the ladder.
Sorry,
she comes with it. It's 14 prints plus Kate.
Okay, Kate can come with it, but not the hammer, Kate. No, okay, I see the same theme obviously through this whole thing because it really is a play.
Yes, exactly. The genesis of this, it's a fictional play that hasn't taken place and won't take place, and this is the supposed memorabilia for this play. So there are original artworks done by the author, there are costume designs and set designs and scenes from various acts. And me, being a particular admirer of this author, I've collected all this memorabilia and put it all together. That's sort of the premise of it. It's a kind of a Dada postmodernist kind of thing, you know.
It's very clever. It's very clever. Now, you also talk about using the computer, marrying technology to art.
Yeah.
You're fascinated
by
this
one, that's a perfect example. I mean, it's basically a cleaned up version of the one over there. But this character's, that's one of my drawings of a Minotaur. And then this is, as I said, Caspar David Friedrich. And these are just found pieces that I converted into a sort of a rostrum for him. But I fed everything into the computer on a scanner and then manipulated it all inside. So these are various textures that come out of some programs. That's a Chinese frame, a digitalized photograph of Brian Eno, who now in this becomes another character. He becomes Ira Benio. It's an anagram of his name, and etc. So the whole thing is sort of, it's collage by computer, really.
Is there any significance at all to colors?
No, it's just a value choice. I mean, it's just my coloration tends to be borders on neo-romantic, so they're a bit soppy.
When people see this in America, they're going to think, wait a minute, music, now art.
Well, they're not altogether bad bedfellows, you know. I think I tend to feel that if you have an understanding of the tools of one of the media, then you tend to be able to work fairly competently in another.
Which do you prefer?
Absolutely, I have neither preference for neither. I mean, I find them both just as frustrating as each other.
Frustrating? What do you mean with all this talent? This isn't frustration,
Well,
this is talent, isn't it?
It's very hard to do stuff that you really, really sort of feel actually succeed in fulfilling what you think you've got in your head, you know? It's, there's a huge gap between that unrealized and the realized fact.
You mentioned 2 weeks of putting this together, which to me is incredible. 2 weeks. Was it
I got the sleeping pills to prove it.
Was it one of those things where it was a real labor of love, or was it, I have to do this every night and I have to get this done in 2 weeks?
Well, Brian has some particularly, I guess I shouldn't say this, but he has some photographs of me that he said that he would reveal to the press if I didn't do this, so...
this really was blackmail is why you're doing this.
Absolutely, definitely.
What were you doing in those pictures?
I was posing for the Minotaur.
Would you like to be that?
The horns, of course, aren't mine.
Would you be that?
Well, there's a little bit of Minotaur in all of us.
I agree. But is that a secret desire of some sort to be what's in this picture, David Bowie?
No, I think, no, the desire, I mean, he's a very sad figure. I mean, he's very lonely. He has absolutely, he's the result of a very bad trick. His mother, Pacifier, decided that she wanted to make love with this bull, and he's the resultant creature, and then for his sins he gets locked away in the labyrinth, of course, that was built by Daedalus. And so I think there's something terribly sad about him, a very tragic figure.
Well, without being a
and
psycho...
he has brute ignorance. I mean, he thinks no further than his next meal or his next lust.
Well, without
a little
being...
bit like a rock star.
I was just going to say that without being a psychoanalyst.
Sorry, rock
here.
god.
How much of you is in this
god.
art? What you're doing?
Oh, in all of it. There's oh, I don't know. I can't get into that stuff. I don't know how much of me's in it. I think they look jolly good, though.
I'm proud of them.
I am, actually. For 2 weeks' work, it ain't bad. I wish I had a bit longer, though. I would have cleaned them up a bit.
What about doing something for the cause you're doing it for? Talk to me about the cause, where the money's going and...
It's for, as Brian will tell you a lot more about it, it's for the Music Therapy Centre in Sarajevo, in Bosnia. I must admit that, you know, for me it was an excuse to... I'm very pleased that it's for a charity, but I was very happy to have the excuse to get working on something quite new. And I think the fact that it's going to a very good cause is even better, you know. I'm not really driven by charities, but this one really seemed to make sense. Brian is the ultimate conceptualizer in terms of putting things in a good context, and he makes sense out of what could be just generally scattered, fragmented pieces of work, and he tends to make sense out of the whole thing.
It's said sometimes that you reinvent yourself, and I don't mean to sound like a psychoanalyst here, but is this part of a reinvention of some
It's
sort
the
for David
clothes,
Bowie?
really. It's the clothes. I mean, I've got jeans in all kinds of colours, and hey, whatever mood I'm in, I'll just change the colour, you know, just like that without even thinking about it.
Do you feel a need to reinvent yourself?
I don't understand any of that. I honestly don't. It's not part of my repertoire. I don't understand it. I've never understood that. I'm just an artist.
People would think, again, the music and the art thing being married. You said something about American, it not being as pervasive in our culture that it is basically in English.
I think really the art school or art training background in American music really only started to surface with possibly people like David Byrne of Talking Heads in maybe the late 70s, early 80s. But prior to that, everybody that I know in a rock band in England comes from some kind of art school background or maybe worked in advertising or whatever. So there's always been a terrific visual spin on what British rock acts have done. That's why often their stage shows tend to be alarmingly garrulous and colourful.
It's always more of a...
It's their sense of colour.
Can we move over? Can you show me a little bit more of what's over here?
You must move on to Brian at some point.
Okay, I promise I won't.
He's a very lone, that's called It Was a Perfect Day. That's Act 1, Scene 1, so everything starts out... He's lonely, but he's satisfied. And it ends up, it's all out of sequence, but it ends up with the death of the Minotaur over there. This one I think is an interesting one as well. It's one of the rare photographs of James Dean masturbating in a tree, which I thought might be the kind of thing that this particular artist, Johnny V. Sayre, might collage into it. So I popped it on a Sotheby's catalogue.
That's certainly very, very different. It's very...
Just really. You don't see many. They probably wonder if there's one of Marlon Brando.
Probably right. You're absolutely right. Chairs. What's going on here?
That's got those pre-show nerves.
Ah.
So that's your empty auditorium.
Oh, that's incredible.
This is a page of sketches of the Minotaur, which of course are all exactly the same. But he's decided this one's the best. No, this one, this Minotaur. Yes. But it's all the same Minotaur.
It's competition within itself.
Yeah.
That's what that's about.
But it's a series. I think it gives an atmosphere of this piece.
What's next for you? You're working on an album, I know.
A bloody good sleep,
America.
actually.
People want to know what's next, though, really.
Well, Brian Eno and I are working on a lot of music. We've done about 5 musical projects this year. None have been released yet. We start releasing in January of next year. One of them being a CD-ROM. And the rest being everything. They range from some dance pieces for a dance group in America called La 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 Human Steps, through to an album of songs. Then there's a piece for, I can only describe it as musical theatre, as it's not a musical. It just goes on, and we haven't stopped writing all year. This year has been so abundant in terms of work. It's been absolutely extraordinary.
When do you rest?
When I get to bed, frankly. I mean, it's really, we've been working so incredibly hard. It's unbelievable. I can't believe we're still standing.
One last thing I just want to ask you, and I promise this is the last, is a CD-ROM. I'm fascinated by how you're fascinated about technology and how you think things are really changing and music isn't just plain music anymore.
I think my saving grace is with Brian's, is that we're not fascinated by the technology. We're fascinated by the potential of the artistic input that can be put into it. I think the trouble with it is that people are too fascinated by the technology. So a lot of what could be visually very interesting and fulfilling for the user is being skipped because a lot of the people who invent this stuff are boffins and they look at it merely from the technological point of view. And so we decided to, just get very arty with it and produce something that the user can interact with and actually change all the time what's appearing on the screen and what the music's doing. So it never repeats itself at all, ever. It's what we're sort of trying to do.
Do you feel more so that that's the cutting edge of what's coming rather than
It's certainly an alternative way of amusing yourself if you've got a couple of free hours.
Where do you have free hours? What do I do? Can you think of anything else? He's been wonderfully patient with me.
So,
yeah, he has been.
Please go to thing.
Here.
So this is the.
Oh my God.
This is actually. Yeah. That's the actual box that it comes in, and it's designed in end paper, which is a multiple of the Minotaur. And then you get the series of prints in. So there's 14 boxes, 14 prints in each box. And that's it for this year.
It's incredible. And you do, clearly this is you too. This is your work
I
too,
took
right?
that, we sort of, we took the poor little victim from that piece there and extricated it and just embossed it into the thing. And it's digitalised slightly. So it's a very nice job. I think it's very good.
Very clever.
Very well made.
I have to ask you one other thing before you run away from me.
Yeah.
How passionate are you about this?
Passionate.
I mean, this versus Let's Dance, or this versus a record, and I don't want to characterize.
No, I can't say that. I think anything that helps me sort of express or escape my daily duty is I'm passionate about. I'm just an artist. So I'm no more passionate than any other artist, and I believe in my work as seriously as any other artist. To me, it's actual lifeblood. I couldn't exist if I wasn't working.
You always have to be doing something.
I do, really.
And this is your new doing something, really.
Family's next.
Yeah, I know. When? That's what we want to know, too. That's when. Tell us about that,
Not going to be very long, anyway.
Really?
Nope.
Do you have an announcement to make for us right now?
Nope.
Are you sure?
Not right now.
Anything? But you're interested in that, huh?
Very interested, yeah.
2 kids? 3 kids? 4 kids?
2.
What does your mom say? What does your mom say?
2.
2? Oh, wonderful. A boy or a girl?
Oh, come on, 2. That's enough.
David Jr.? David Jr.? Oh, I think it's wonderful to have a great priority like that.
Yes, it is.
Do you think like a little David or?
Oh, it's real private between us.
Okay. Okay. All right. You are so at least you can rest.
So I think the majority of the time, well, all my work's over there. I've got a studio there. I've got an art studio over there.
Great.
So I tend to. That's really where I really work.
Good.
Everything will go in, being in a city like this, and then it sort of, you know, it becomes mulch. I'm part of the society I live in. I'm not sort of outside of it at all. I met her on a computer dating
That's what you have to tell, because you're totally...
she'd kill me. We actually were introduced by a mutual friend. Somebody who was living in Hollywood. We were both there, and he just invited us both out to dinner at the same time, and we immediately, that was it, you know, never looked back from that day.
Great. A real love affair, huh?
It really was. We never
nice.
even reconsidered any aspect of it.
How many years ago? How many years
It's
ago?
4.5 years now.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, I've been married for 2, which in rock and roll seems to be quite a marriage of longevity. Yeah, but we're very serious.
God, they'll be gorgeous, won't they?
I
Really?
I don't care, as long as they sort of breathe and stuff.
And healthy. Is much of your family still here in England?
No, my son's in college in America, but he's coming back to study at university here. So
Whereabouts, David, in America? Does he go?
I'm not saying.
Oh, okay.
No.
Okay.
But he's going to be coming back here next year. He's got a graduate course in philosophy.